Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to today's show, where we go back to basics and review the essential 6 items every responsible adult should have in their estate plan. And for you, my beloved Kerlin givers, listen up. I want you to make sure the adult in your care has these items in place, not just so we can honor their intentions, but so you can do your job. My essential 6 items are a will, a trust, power of attorney for finance, healthcare, end of life instructions, and a robot map. Most of us know what a will is. It determines who gets your stuff and who is in charge. However, a will alone does not keep your estate out of probate. For example, mom and dad have a home in joint tenancy. No problem upon the first death. Home stays with the survivor, but upon the death of the survivor, the home will not go to the children without probate, even if mom and dad have a will. Probate is not a monster. It's the court process in which the will is filed, petition to have will admitted, executor approved is filed, a hearing is held, executor appointed, claims notice published. It's all public, it's quite expensive, and assets are more vulnerable to credits. But while probate is necessary if no planning has been done at all, or the family just have a will, probate is not necessary for you. It is 100% avoidable. The most common way to avoid probate is a trust. Think of a trust as just another way to hold title. In the scenario we discussed, if mom and dad had a simple residential trust to hold their home instead of joint tenancy and just a will, the children would have taken that home very simply without probate. A very common trust in our community is the living trust, or revocable living trust. It's a marvelous instrument. Think of the living trust as your treasure chest. Who do you want in charge of the treasure? That's the trustee. You at first, and then you determine who's your follow-up and who gets what. But who gets what goes way beyond a will. You can build in lots of goodies, lots of protection. You can protect your children's inheritance from creditors, predators, divorcing spouses, even themselves if they're vulnerable. You can also build in special needs planning, children's trust, grandchildren's trust, tax savings, pet trust, to name a few. Whatever your family needs are, you tailor your trust exactly to your needs. Then we fund your trust. That is, we align your assets with the trust, get your home in there. If you have a vacation home, your business interests, get the trust named as owner of your investment accounts, perhaps beneficiary on your retirement accounts, your insurance policy, and maybe have the trust named POD on your bank accounts. There is so much we can do. Save money not just in probate, but on taxes. The typical living trust is simple, easily managed by a family member as trustee, and usually wrapped up within a few months after death with no court involvement whatsoever. The next document in my essential 6 is your power of attorney for property. You are still here, but either temporarily or permanently unable to handle your affairs. You may have a trust, but there will be certain accounts not in the trust, such as retirement accounts, and you need to name someone to pay your bills, transfer funds, step into your financial shoes if you have an accident, illness, or get dementia, or even just that diminished capacity that comes with great age. The 4th item in our essential 6 is a power of attorney for healthcare. Essential. If you don't do anything else, Get these two simple little documents in place. They're not about life after death or who gets your money, your life savings. These documents are about taking care of you. And if you are lucky enough to have trusted friends or family members who will step up in an emergency, in a long-term incapacity, give them the authority they need to do their job. If you don't, they have to go back to guardianship court, and that is to be avoided, my dear listeners, at all costs. I have done enough guardianship cases to know no one is happy with that arrangement. It is very public, it's a court process, it's intrusive, it's expensive, and a huge impediment to the loved ones taking care of you. And that can be avoided with these simple little powers of attorney. Talk to your family about your healthcare wishes, your decisions, including your end-of-life choice, which takes me to number 5 on my list, the living will. I don't say everyone should have a living will, but I do say everyone should think about their end-of-life choices and what they want if they are on life supports and doctors have determined that they're not coming back. If you know you do not want to be kept alive that way, make sure your family knows and get it reflected in your documents in 2 ways. One, in your healthcare power of attorney, you can make your decision, let your family know, your agents, and then you also have a living will. That's a declaration where you allow death delaying procedures to be withdrawn and you to be allowed to die naturally with only comfort care. I have had many clients say they had to make that decision for their mother or father, and they do not want their loved ones to have to make it for them. You make the decision now, get it into your documents, and you take that difficult decision out of their hands. The last item in my Essential 6 is not a legal document at all, but in fact a roadmap to the documents, decisions, your assets, bank accounts, statements, policies, your digital assets, online accounts, passwords, medications, instructions for pet care, funeral, burial, wishes, arrangements, contact persons. No stone left unturned. This is golden for you, your spouse if you do the paperwork in the family, your caregivers during your life, and the smooth transfer of your estate after death so much easier. Most of you have gone through grief. You know how crushing it is, how the simplest task feels difficult. You feel like you're wading through water just trying to function. So in the midst of family grief, if all your affairs are in order, not the mess I so often hear about, that is perhaps the greatest gift that you can give your loved ones. For those of you who have been listening since 2013 when we aired our first show, you know I devote my legal career to estate planning. And after almost 20 years meeting with clients in my office, their homes, hospital rooms, I find no area of law more important or rewarding. I have also discovered my gift is guiding clients through this healing, transformative process with worth and competence. Estate planning is the heart and soul of the law, and there is nothing I would rather do. It's about protecting your assets, your family, your loved ones, planning for the future, yes, but it is so much more. It's about you, your unique story, your life savings, values and beliefs and hopes for the future. And that is what we weave into your estate plan. Thank you, dear viewers, for listening. If you have any questions about today's show or a topic you would like me to cover on Where the Road Rises, please call the station or email me. I'll be happy to help you. Until next time, goodbye.